What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod, and I'm a full-time eBay and Poshmark seller. And if you guys didn't catch my first video today, I'm definitely going to put that in the cards and in the description below, because today was just a double upload kind of day and I felt like putting out some more content for you guys. So if you guys didn't catch that one, go ahead and watch that a little later, but stick around for this video because I'm definitely going to be sharing some information that I didn't talk about in the past. So I do think it can be beneficial and could really help some of you guys kind of make some decisions when it comes to this whole reselling business. So if you guys are interested in my journey to selling on eBay, stick around, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright y'all, so my journey to selling on eBay was definitely full of ups and downs. So when I first quit my job, my original plan was to be a social media influencer. So basically all that entailed was getting different products from different brands, whether it was a pair of shoes or some clothes or some glasses, and just modeling that on my social media pages, whether it was Instagram and Facebook and my blog. And in exchange, they would pay me, you know, just a few $100 every now and then. But I really had to cut that out because I wasn't making enough money to really sustain a real business. I just wasn't at that level like some of the other big influencers that would, you know, demand $2,000 or $3,000 for a simple Instagram post. So for me, I just really didn't want to spend that much time really trying to grow my Instagram, because at that point I felt like Instagram was going through a lot of changes, and as you guys know, in social media and just business in general, you always constantly have to pivot. You got to figure out what's the best move for you, especially based on your location and just based on that particular time in your life. And for me, I just really wasn't interested in like sharing every detail of my life in order to grow, whether it was taking pictures while I'm on vacation or showing what I'm eating during the day. Like, that's just not my style. So I didn't want to go through all of that. So I just really pivoted at that point and decided to start selling things online. Now, when I first started selling things online, one of the first people I was following was Paul Cantu. And for those of you that don't know Paul Cantu, he's a pretty big YouTuber, but he's mainly a reseller as well. And he gets a lot of things that's like vintage and kind of just some of the stuff aren't necessarily big brands, but he does have a really good eye for selling things. And he kind of shares his thrift store journeys and things like that. And he has an online store, and I figured I can follow that same model. The only difference is he had a huge audience that he was already marketing to, which was his subscriber base. So that's one thing that I kind of forgot about. I just thought if I opened up my online store and I push whatever traffic that I can from my blog and my Instagram, I could, you know, blow up my business. But in reality, if you don't have a huge clientele base or subscriber count, only like 5 to 10% of the people that actually follow you and engage are the ones that's actually going to support you. And for the most part, the people that I was marketing to wasn't really interested in buying clothing. They were mainly interested in like outfit inspiration and stuff like that. So the market that I had just wasn't the market for me to be trying to sell things to. And at the same time, I was very, very niche based. So I was trying to only sell menswear clothing like blazers and suits and accessories like ties and cufflinks. So with that being so niche based, it kind of limited me to the type of people that I could actually sell things to, for one. And even if I'm in the thrift store and I see something that could really sell for some decent money, I would still pass on it because, you know, it wasn't Brioni or it wasn't something like a Hugo Boss, and it wasn't something that, you know, would fit with my niche. Then after a while, I realized that my online store just wasn't doing very well. I mean, I made some decent money on there, but just not enough to really sustain and put away any money for savings or retirement fund. And that's always been super important to me ever since I left my career in higher education. So at that point, I decided to start selling things on eBay. Now, I opened an eBay account back in 2008 while I was still in college, and I would sell some of my used sneakers, but I would never sell things like on a heavy, consistent basis. So for the most part, I was brand new to eBay, and I was so fresh and so new to eBay, it was to the point where I didn't even know you can list things as buy it now. I just figured everything was an auction, and you would have to wait whether 5 to 7 days until your auction is complete. So at that point, when I first started, and this was 2 years ago, everything I listed was an auction, and I really didn't know that you could put it as a buy it now price. So sometimes people might, you know, they might bid and then they don't pay.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And that was very, very common for me because I was everything I had listed was an auction-based item. So it took me a while to kind of figure things out on my own. I made a ton of mistakes. I wasted a ton of money on buying things that didn't sell. And after a while, I just kind of devoted the time and the energy that I needed to do in order to be successful on eBay. And it took about a year, maybe a year and a half, until I really like mastered eBay. And to be honest, I didn't feel like I mastered eBay until I got on YouTube. That's when I was able to share more information with you guys and just create more valuable content instead of trying to, you know, show all of my mistakes from the very beginning. So with that being said, once I got better at eBay, then I eventually moved on to start selling things on Poshmark, because I just wanted to start taking things one step at a time and master one platform and then move on to the next, and so on and so forth. So I do think when it comes down to having a niche-based store or a niche-based Poshmark Closet, that is very good. It could be a good thing, but it can also be a very limiting thing as well. Because like I said, while I was only selling menswear items, if I saw a pair of sneakers that was dope, I didn't even have the foresight to think, okay, let me go ahead and sell this on a different platform. I just always thought, if it's not going to fit in my store, I'm not going to sell it. So it wasn't until I got on eBay that it kind of granted me that opportunity to sell any and everything. And when I say any and everything, I literally mean everything from graphing calculators to diabetic test strips to vintage cameras to body scales. Like, it didn't really matter. Whatever I found, I was just able to flip that and make some decent money. But at the same time, when it does come to having a niche-based closet, I do think it benefits, because you're more of like, you can build a brand easier that way. Like, if somebody's into a particular style, they'll eventually know you for being the person to go to if you have something in that specific style. And I do think that could be really beneficial, especially when it comes to maintaining a client base and really having loyal customers, which is super important anytime you're dealing in business. So I do think there are some limitations, but there really are some pros to having a niche-based closet or eBay store as well. So that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you can, share it to some of your friends. I'm pretty sure they can learn from some of my experiences, whether that means on learning how to pivot and how to make some quick decisions, really just to, you know, just to get by and to really grow your business. Because the situation I was in when I quit my job, I did save up a substantial amount of money to hold me over, but at the same time, I didn't have that much money to the point where I couldn't afford to not still make a decent amount of money. So I had to pivot several times in order to get to where I'm at today. And if you guys are out there and you're thinking about starting a closet or starting an eBay store and you want to go really niche based, or you want to do the complete opposite, I'm pretty sure this video can help you guys at least learn from my experience. So drop a comment if this helped, and we keep the conversation going, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.